You're listening to Guitar Talk with Dave and John.
All right, folks, we are back. This is Guitar Talk. I'm Dave.
And I'm John, to utilize the same voice.
And this is number 58.
Hmm.
Folks, if we were a Les Paul, we would have a maple top that is lightly flamed with a cherry sunburst, a big beefy neck.
You ever kind of consider the fact that even though we're at 58, we're still kind of number two? Don't ever call me number two.
Oh, yeah, you're right. What are you eating, Randy? Good stuff, mainly. P.F. Chang's. So anyway, we have lots to talk about today. We have, I do want to make a few comments, folks. When I do something on my channel, somebody had pointed out to me that it's all opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, is that why it's called Dave's Guitar Channel?
Listen, the only time that we're ever saying something that we feel is deeper than opinion is when we're telling you what specs we like and think that you should like.
Sure. Or something that should just be available. I mean, it's like, you know.
There are some people that have less sausagey fingers than us and do not require jumbo frets like we do.
No, I agree. I agree. But you know, it's funny. So there's, I think on the West Coast there, you have an ice cream called Dryers with a D. The other is Edie's. But I noticed when I was in the store that they don't just have vanilla bean, bourbon vanilla. They have a multitude of flavors. So that would be my point. Fender might want to, you know, instead of just offering vanilla to everybody, come up with another flavor. Rocky Road, chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay, so this is interesting. We don't like vanilla. Well, we like vanilla, but we also like other flavors. Here's a company that's never been able to get it together. They've been owned by a multitude of different companies. And they are out again right now, and they are trying to make a comeback. BC Rich. Nothing vanilla about it. It's weird pointy guitars. It's from all the people that I know that were in the rock scene in like the late 70s and the 80s, those guys were making stuff that everybody wanted, and then it just
Well, let's discuss. I think when Bernie Rico was alive, it was him and what was the tall blonde guy's name that designed Neil?
I have no idea.
Oh, well.
I don't know any of the history of this company.
Okay, so BC Rich was Bernie Rico, and it was a guy, Neil, who now makes his own guitars, and I cannot remember his last name. John, shall we look that up? You want to give that a quick look up? He's the guy that designed mainly most of their instruments. And I think they were very successful in those early years of making the Mockingbird, the Eagle, the Warlock, the Bitch.
We're not talking about Neil Giraldo, obviously.
No, we are not.
Although there was a signature series Neil Giraldo Eagle electric guitar.
Really?
Yeah. At one point in time, that was.
When I think of BC Rich, I always think of Craig Chiquiko from Jefferson Starship playing that Mockingbird.
I try Neil Moser.
Ah, thank you, Neil Moser. Yes.
Okay, there you go, Neil Moser. Okay,
yes.
What about Neil Moser?
Well, when him and Bernie were working the company, that I believe BC Rich was at the height of their success. Like they were doing really well. That's when you saw like the Craig Chiquikos playing them. And then they introduced the NJ series, which was made in Japan back in the 80s. It was shortly after that the guitars fell out of favor.
Wow, okay, so they must have had some serious problems, either with the imported guitars, with the USA production not being able to put out guitars, or both.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think they tried moving the plant. Now, I don't really know much about the company, but I think Bernie Rico tried to move the plant and then maybe he sold it. I don't know. I think Bernie passed, if I'm not mistaken. I really don't know much about the company. I just remember hearing that the son was redoing stuff and the son was painting guitars for like the early 2000s. He had a paint shop up there like in Hesperia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I
Yeah.
knew. So the new company I found out was purchased by the vice president of sales from Hanser Music Group. Hanser Music Group was the last company that owned them. So apparently they must have wanted to get out of it or something. I don't know. And I don't know what the behind the scenes dealing was, but the guy that was the VP of sales there split off from them, is no longer associated with them, and now owns BC Rich. So there was some sort of an agreement that happened there.
Interesting.
And so now they're making guitars again, and from all of the photos that I'm seeing and going to the website, they have a USA custom shop, or
Okay.
as they put it, they have 4 different custom shops. So I'm assuming that he's kind of doing something right now where he's like contracting out these designs to very competent builders around that, they trust can make the guitars, basically.
Sure.
And they're assuming that these people, can keep up with whatever the demand is.
Didn't
So
Gibson
anyway,
do that recently?
um, someone told me that they've been doing that for a long time.
Really?
And I don't know how much of that I know, but someone told me, do you know the Cole guitars, Koll?
I don't know them, but okay.
I can't think of the guy's first name. Someone told me that he was making the custom shop Firebirds for Gibson outside of the Gibson custom shop, which
Yeah, I read something
I
that
had
there were
no
like
idea.
4 different builders that were doing different builds,
Yeah,
different guitars for them.
Jeff Cole is his name.
Oh, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I don't know his work terribly well, but I have heard the name before. Anyway, so I'm at the website right now. Are you on the website by any chance?
Oh no, but I'll pop it right up. This
Yeah,
is BC Rich.
bcrich.com. The guitars look to me like import, high-end import, I would say. It reminds me of like the Korean-made Schecters and the Korean-made LTDs, which would be like your LTD 1000 series.
Well, I can see all the abalone and the inlays, and that
Right.
screams Asian maker.
Entirely.
Screams it. Yeah.
Yeah. But looking up close at like some of what they're doing, um, that's what it looks like to me. Anyways, go to the guitars tab, and you'll notice that it's impossible to discern what the hell you're looking at, because you get
Well,
Legacy, Extreme, Prophecy, Handcrafted, and 50th Anniversary.
right.
These are the series headers.
So that I would imagine the handcrafted is custom shop. That's just how I would imagine it.
Yeah, the funny thing about it is they have the 50th Anniversary tab, but if you click on Handcrafted, 2 of the guitars are 50th Anniversary guitars under that tab. 3 of them are.
Under handcrafted?
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see there's a
Oh, yes,
handcrafted.
yes. Okay, so the 50th anniversary looks like it's going to be limited woods. It looks like some type of spalted.
It's exactly the same pictures as on the other heading, though, as handcrafted.
Right. So they're not only 50th anniversary, but they are handcrafted. I would imagine. Let me see if I click on what it says.
I would also say that these are extreme shapes, and they have a legacy kind of a heritage with BC Rich. Doesn't take one with a lot of foresight to see the prophecy. Never mind, I'm trying to put this together.
Yeah. That was terrible. But anyways, it is spalted. It is spalted maple. It looks like a stained spalted maple. I never cared for that look.
Hey, is that spalted maple or
What are you having, chicken or chicken? I like on the Mockingbird custom that they kept it with the 50 million knobs and switches.
Agreed. Well,
Right.
if you're going to have a BC Rich Mockingbird, you might want, all of those. So what are all of those options? I
I
wonder
think.
if you know what any of this shit does.
Oh yeah, one of them opens the pod bay doors. That thing's a spaceship. It's ridiculous.
It's
Uh,
I
the
like the fact that there's like the three silver cap knobs and then the chicken head. You always have to have the chicken head.
I like the fact that this is like they're trying to get back to the handcrafted, introduced in the 70s, and it has a Floyd Rose on it, totally ruining it. Like without the option to not have the Floyd Rose. I'm looking and there's no option. It's just that's it.
I like the fact that it's a rosewood headstock with the R on this one, like the old school one. I do
Right,
like that.
right. Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. But then the
Interesting.
tuners though look a little um what is that company? D'Angelico?
Well, these are the Imperials. Who made? Was it the Grover Imperials?
Oh, is that who makes them? I don't know. Let me
Ye-
see what they say. They claim the hardware, Grover Super Rotomatics.
Okay, yeah, the Grover Imperial. That was the shape of that tuning key, and it's a
Okay.
very. I mean, I wouldn't pick that shape for myself, but if I saw an old American-made BC Rich, I would assume that would be the key that would be on it.
Hmm.
And I could be totally wrong. But anyway, so the Mockingbird SL Custom. Yeah, it says made in the USA.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I
yada
know it's
yada
made in
yada.
USA. When you see the R on the headstock, that was their trademark. That Bernie Rico put the big R there on the USA shit. That was his.
Well, here's a problem. These guys got to tighten up their website. I'm kind of rooting for somebody with weird shapes to make some waves just because nobody else is right now. But they got to tighten this stuff up. BC Rich partial active electronics and DiMarzio super distortion pickups. The picture is clearly Seymour Duncan pickups. So they made a mistake there with their text. They got to tighten that up. If you're watching this, tighten that up. Then you
Yeah.
go down into the specifications,
Hmm.
and it says Seymour Duncan Alnico 2 Pro pickups. So they're putting the Slash pickups in this guitar with, an obvious nod to Slash owning one of these. Now, wait a minute. These... I wonder if this whole header here is them just talking about the original design of it.
I don't know. I
Why do that? That doesn't make sense. No,
I see
it's
they're
too
using the lace
yeah.
pickups. Oh, no, that's the Fluence, isn't it? Fishman Fluence on one of these, a couple of
Yeah.
these.
I still haven't played one of those.
I'm not buying any pickup series that I have to plug into my cell phone charger to make sure it's charged. I'm all set.
Yeah, they do a passive version of that pickup, but I don't know if anybody, whatever. I don't know. I'm noticing a lot of a lot of Floyds. Oh, here you go. There's something here called the Mockingbird Legacy STQ hardtail.
Yeah, I saw that. And that
That must
hardtail, but the
stain
problem,
quilted hardtail. Go ahead, sorry.
okay, so you have a more traditional, why not have a natural finish? Instead, it's this trans red, trans purple, and black burst.
Right. Oh yeah, and they did change the logo. The logo on this one's quite different on the headstock.
It's the scripted BC Rich, like the
Right.
old NJ series, yeah.
Right. And the
And let's see where
pickups
it
look
says if it's
different on
made.
this.
Does not say where it's made.
The Legacy series.
But maybe the wood has something to do with it.
DiMarzio deactivator pickup, so high output passive pickups in this one. Um,
Oh, it's made in Korea. It does say Korea.
does it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's what I expected it would be. I mean,
Yeah,
you
well,
can
when you see that,
you see it from the look of the guitar.
when you see the abalone, it's all over like the binding of the neck. It looks like the way Rira used to make guitars about 15 years ago.
Who were they?
They're a Korean manufacturer, like along with World Manufacturing. They were one of the Wolf Manufacturing's another one.
Wolf Cola? That's sorry, that's from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't think
Right.
that's Frank's cover company he launders all his money through. Um, you know what I'm not seeing on here? Why am I not seeing? I'm not seeing any BC Rich bitches other than the double neck.
Oh no! Well, there was a bitch in the handcrafted series, wasn't there?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, the Rich Bitch 10 Supreme. It's the 10 string.
Okay, so they're doing the 10 string. As of yet, no Eagles.
I don't see any Eagles now.
Okay. All right, so they got a ways to go, but and there's some obvious guitars that they're missing right now. I assume that this is all kind of building up, but the fact that I don't see a Korean Warlock with with a fixed bridge is really surprising.
Almost
Like,
everything is Floyd on this thing.
yeah, there's a lot. They've got one with an Evertune, which is kind of, that's kind of like ESP sort of a thing. But yeah, then like the only Korean-made Warlocks I see two of them. One of them is a quilty top, and one of them is a solid paint job one. But they both have that Fishman pickup set in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious to see what these guys are gonna end up doing. But at the moment, I'm just I'm not. There's nothing on here where I'd go, you know what? I want to support their comeback. There's nothing on here yet.
Yeah, it also seems a little 80s throwback because everything's shred. For shredders, by shredders. If you
Yeah.
go to the Prophecy series, everything's Shredzilla. It's like, oh, that's current.
Well, yeah. Would you expect them to do something different? I don't know if I would.
I don't know if all the guys that played BC Rich were shred guys. In fact, I don't really know many shred guys that did. I knew a lot of guys. I mean, Chiquito was a good player. He was just a rock player. He played it like a Les Paul kind of vibe to his playing. And, um, the BC Rich bitch. I remember when Joe Perry used to play one of those. So, I mean, it's
Right.
like I'm not associating it with the guys who were like the shred guys. I don't know, but maybe whatever. Hey, I
Maybe.
wish them the best of luck. This guitar is not for me, so I am not the target audience for it. My one suggestion to them would be anything you offer with a Floyd, offer it without a Floyd, because you're going to really limit who you're selling your stuff to.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's and then on top of that, you gotta have a simpler option for a guy who doesn't want the spaceship but
Yeah,
wants
right.
wants the shape. And what I mean, I'm looking right now at the handcrafted. If somebody is saying, I really, one day, if a 15-year-old kid is saying one day I want to have one of these Mockingbirds or Warlocks or whatever, but I can't spend $3,600 on this guitar, which is, yeah, I get that. But look at this guitar. It's an exotic guitar. It's got an ebony fingerboard. It's got two humbuckers, a fixed bridge, a single volume knob, and a blade switch.
Yeah.
So you can spend $3,500 and get something that's practical, but you can't spend $700 or $800 on whatever their import is, or $1,000, however much it's going to be, and get anything less than this like outrageous control panel.
It's
I
really
don't know.
nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is what they used to do, so
I
I'm,
mean, look
I'm
at
not
there's
trying to
one,
bag on it
two,
too
three,
much.
4, 5. There are 8 knobs on the
Right,
Mockingbird.
right. Yeah, I think if you want somebody that's saying, I want a ticket to the club, but I don't have $3,800. It's like one of your $800 to $1,000 models needs to be the streamlined version.
And
If
you
you're
know what's
going to get
crazy is
accessibility.
anyone like let me just take a look at what this knob does because okay, so the control layout on the exotic Mockingbird Legacy, which I don't know, do they put a price here, a list or anything? Comes with a gig bag, so maybe it's an affordable one. So it has 2 volumes, 1 tone, 1 3-way toggle, an individual mini switch for pickup coil tap and reverse phase, and one 5-position varitone filter.
Okay, that's what it all does.
What I love is it has a thing underneath that says kill switch. No. Like the kill switch is that common on guitars that they have to put it in the list of things that I can
That's funny. I
wet
didn't
my
even know that.
pants. Hey, what
That's
about a kill
funny.
switch? Does this thing have a kill switch? No. Oh, okay. That's all.
That's a deal breaker.
Kill switch. But there's 90 different other things that won't have an effect on your tone, like a coil tap. Who the hell wants a coil tap?
Yeah, you got me. On a switch, I don't know about that on a switch.
Well, first of all, the pickup has to be made to be tapped. It's not a coil split, it's a tap, which means that it's somewhere, there's a wire coming out from the midpoint from the tap, that pickup's been tapped. I think it's nuts.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I commend them for trying to make a comeback. I think they got a ways to go.
Look, the design is iconic. The look of this guitar, of the Mockingbird Legacy Exotic ST with Floyd Rose. Take the Floyd Rose off, bring it down to 2 volumes and a volume, a tone, and a 3-way, and you got a viable guitar in today's market that could actually be a wanted guitar. Right now, with the Spaceship, the Floyd Rose, it looks like at any moment you're waiting for clearance.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot going on there. I do wish that they made a streamlined version. And I do fear that a company like this would make a decision like, you know what? We will make a streamlined version. We're going to make a mid-market $599 price point version of it. And it's going to be Chinese and it's going to be crappy.
Well, it doesn't have to be crappy. You can go to Indonesia. They have some decent...
Yes, they do. Make it at the Jackson factory. But you're not gonna put it out at $599.
Okay, so these things are already at Guitar Center.
Are they? So they have a okay. What you see the price points on them?
Actually, this is the Mockingbird Extreme, $1,600.
The Extreme is $1,600. Wow, Korean guitar, $1,600. That's so they're viewing it as a high-end guitar out of Korea.
Yeah.
Do they have any of the Legacy series up here?
I'm not seeing them right now. All I'm seeing is I'm looking though. No, a lot of old used ones.
Let's see. I'm checking into it myself here. Okay, so Prophecy series, I see $15.99. Extreme series $14.99, $15.99, $15.99. Yeah, they're all kind of sitting at the same spot. I'm looking for that. Weird. Oh, here's some Legacy series. So they've got the Stealth Legacy series guitars up there at $12.99 and $13.99.
Yeah, $13.99 for the trans.
Interesting. I would have thought that this would have been $300 less starting point kind of thing, but
I'm with you. $9.99 is where this guitar should sit.
The Stealth one,
the Mockingbird Legacy ST with the says $13.99 free shipping. It's on Red Blanket Guitars is selling it out of Bellevue, Washington on Reverb.
I don't know what Red Blanket Guitars is. That must be a small shop. All right. Well, this is interesting because this ties into, I think last week at some point, you brought up the conversation about price point in our industry.
Sure.
And we're talking about that right now. So expand a little bit on what you wanted to talk about because I'm curious.
Well, I think that it's insane to buy a Fender amp costs, like $8.99 and $9.99 for a Princeton. And then if you wanted one hand-wired or you wanted one that was somewhat nice and made properly by Fender, you're paying $4,000 when every boutique guy would sell it for between $15,000 to $2,000.
Yeah, I think we did talk about this.
Well, just the amps, but then it's also with the Strats. Like, is there a Stratocaster USA under $1,000?
Oh, not the road warrants. The highway ones used to be $999. I don't know though.
Oh, apparently they're still making highway ones. I just looked up not for $1,099. It's called the Fender American Performer Strat, and it's a satin finish. This is basically what the highway one was.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Yep, there it is.
Oh yeah, even has the 70s headstock on it.
Really curious if they just kept it exactly the same. Yeah, 70s headstock, vintage Cluson style tuners. Let's seek out the changes. What did they change other than the name? Because the highway one was satin.
They put a push pull. They put a push pull on the neck middle tone knob.
The photo of this black one I'm looking at is gloss. But you're saying it's satin. I don't.
On the Performance series?
Yeah.
The one I'm looking at is on a Sweetwater, and it says satin polyurethane body and neck.
Yeah, because like this is like very obviously gloss. The one that I'm looking at.
Is it black?
Yeah, it's black.
Let me see if they have it here on Sweetwater.
It is on Sweetwater. That's what I'm looking at.
What does it say for the color?
Just black with maple fingerboards. All it says. Doesn't say satin or anything.
Fender American.
Let me scroll down to the specs and see if it's a satin. Yeah, it just says black.
Which one? The black one I'm looking at says sandblasted black.
Fender American Performer Stratocaster HSS black with maple board.
Oh, the HSS. Hold on, let me go to that one. I saw that one there.
Yeah. Oddly enough, that one's black.
Yeah, this looks like a gloss finish.
Yeah, so does the 3-tone sunburst and the aubergine or whatever. Which looks like
it's satin.
How is that satin? That photo looks
go to the black, go all the way down and look what it says under the features. The middle row all the way to the bottom.
Down. All the way to the bottom.
Where it says the features. Fender American Performance Stratocaster, solid body electric guitar features.
Yep.
Last one in the middle row.
Yeah, it says satin polyurethane body and neck finish. It sure does. But you telling me that photo looks satin?
No, it's totally not. It totally looks like it's got a gloss. That just tells me they used a different guitar for the picture, so it filmed better.
Yeah, that's possible. Anyway, yeah, this is okay. So they moved the price up to $10.99 on this series.
Yeah,
and then other than the name of it, it does look pretty much identical to what the old one was. The grease bucket master tone circuit that they love.
Yep.
The Yosemite Strat. So they named their pickups after the Apple operating system. This generation of performers, the Yosemite. The next one will be the I don't know. I don't even know what what operating system is Apple on right now.
No idea.
The Seal Beach. Yeah, who knows? Yosemite 5-way switch. The neck is where it's always exactly the same, and it is here. Yeah, 9.5 radius, 22 jumbo frets. The only neck that they ever offer their jumbo frets. It's always this guitar. Single action truss rod. Why in God's green earth are they still using a single action truss rod?
It's the Colt single action Army truss rod. It's awful.
6-screw vintage style synchronized tremolo bridge. So they're using the same bridge that they use on their Mexican standards. All right. So I don't know. I wonder what the point of this guitar is. So you talk about the price
Well,
point.
this is all
What's
it is. It's all about the price point.
What's the point of this guitar? Yeah. I mean,
So
what did they?
USA under
I
about $1,000.
You think this body is one of the Mexican bodies? Probably multiple pieces of wood glued together like the butcher block bodies.
Yeah, probably because it doesn't comment on a 2 or 3 piece body. And well, let me just take a look at the sunburst, because the sunburst you can tell if it's a photo. I don't know if anybody even remembers that they used to do that. You and I remember that because
Right.
you know, when you have it in a shop, somebody puts a ding in a guitar, and instead of it starts tearing a piece of paper, you're like, wait a second, this isn't wood.
Right.
A lot of the sunbursts on the Mexican standards were all like a photo of the wood grain,
Right.
because the bodies would be like 5 to 7 pieces.
Yep, they use very, very, very thin laminate to cover the body and give it that appearance of, because like you look at this one, it looks like one piece of wood. So this has definitely
Totally
got to
a
be a
photo.
photo flame.
Yeah.
It's got to be a photo flame. You look, folks, look at the photo of the 3-tone sunburst if you're following along on your computers, which if you are, you're probably watching porn while listening to us.
Yeah.
But pop over to the Sweetwater site. You can look below the photograph of the neck plate, and you can see that there's no seam running down the middle. Normally, they would book match a body in the middle like that, and there is none. It just looks like one piece of wood. You look at the grain, you see it's one piece of wood. There's just no way.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Anyway, so that guitar, you figure it's just a price point guitar.
Yeah. I mean, there's no other reason to have it in the line. They'll probably sell them for $9.99 if you go to a mom and pop shop, just because they don't have to sell them at $1,099, and it's always nice when it's in the window saying $9.99.
I know what Fender's margins in general are, and for a dealer to want to give away $100, I don't think they're gonna want to give it away. But you might be right. They might, some guys might advertise it like that just to get people in.
Yeah, I mean it's a way to get somebody to walk in your door.
Yeah, not a lot of meat on the bones.
You know,
what I mean?
and now that the holiday season's coming up and we have Black Friday coming, my suggestion is to look out for the sales. And if something is too good to be true, sometimes it's just because they're trying to push a lost leader on you to get you to walk in the door. So, sometimes you might not want to hesitate on some things because they are moving stuff. If it makes sense that it's a discontinued product or something of that nature, a company will sell it out, for less than maybe even what they got it for 2 reasons. The first is it's killing them in their inventory because they're paying a tax on it every year, and they already made their profit on it the year that they bought it. And then the other reason is it's getting you to walk in their store and they can advertise, we have this guitar for this amount of money. Come on in, it's brand new, blah, blah, blah. And you walk in, and John and I have the experience with doing that, having a shop. And around the holiday times, we would call up manufacturers and say to them, what do you have that you can't get rid of? And they're like, and if one, out of one of the things they have that they can't get rid of, that's a cool item, we'd be like, well, how much can we get it for if we buy it, we buy your lot?
Right.
And then they tell you, and then you can go, okay, well, we got these for $200. The cost usually is $4, and they retail for the 8 and usually sell for $5.99. Well, now I can bring them in at $200, sell them to you for $3.99, advertise it's a blowout sale. You'd come running in, but you'd also buy strings, you'd buy straps, you might buy an amp. Either way, I'm just saying that always happens around the holiday times, especially stores that are pretty with it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few of them. A lot of the bigger online retailers that you've heard of are very good at this. Pro Audio Star, Pitbull Audio, Sweetwater, anybody like this that's like a good online operation. I would say keep your eyes peeled for B stock options, because
Exactly.
you're gonna find really good prices on a B stock guitar, and there's going to be a lot of cases where you're not going to be able to find whatever that B stock problem is on that guitar, especially if you're a Gibson guy, because what some companies deem as B stock, Gibson would be like, there's nothing wrong with this guitar.
Right. That's so true.
Yeah, a lot of times it's literally like a tiny pinhole in the finish, or you name it, any number of little things,
Mhm.
some surface swirl in the finish. It's going to be something that's completely not consequential to the playability or viability of the instrument, but it's going to save you $300 or $400 or whatever the case is.
Totally. I mean, it happens all the time. In fact, I'm looking at Sweetwater right now, and it says the biggest deals of the year save up to 74% off. And that's how they pull that off. They are going to the manufacturers. What's not selling?
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that the D'Angelico Bob Weir guitar is not selling?
Exactly. Why are they blowing that out?
Yeah, it's half off.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
half red and half blue with a white lightning bolt running down the middle of it.
hang tight, folks. Give that thing about 4 more months, and they'll be giving you $500 to take it home.
Yeah, but I'm looking right now at their Black Friday stuff, and yeah, there's a lot going on. You'll see save up to $300 on something, or save up to whatever. And then you see a lot of very flat things like save 10% on
Yeah.
something.
Well, on the Bob
And if
Weir
it's-
guitar, it says while supplies last, and that's their intent, is to get rid of it.
Yeah, entirely. They're not going to reorder that, folks. No, but when you see something like the save 10%, save 15%, that's the vendor and the manufacturer, or the vendor and the retailer saying, we would like to see sales of this particular item pick up. So let's do a shared effort in this, and we'll get rid of it. And that doesn't mean it's discontinued. That's just a good opportunity for you. It might be something where it's an item that the velocity is just slowed down because it's been on the market for a while, or whatever the case is. But take advantage of that if it's what you want. I saw something really cool with Reverb that I think people should look at. They're doing something different to Black Friday. They reached out and talked to a whole bunch of pedal manufacturers, and they got a bunch of people to do a blacked out limited edition pedal for them. So they've got like 19 or 20 boutique boutique pedal manufacturers that made 100 units specifically all blacked out of whatever the pedal was that they're kind of known for. And so they're all over Reverb like that, just limited edition runs. I think that was a kind of a cool alternate to the typical price point thing. So there's a pedal that I saw through this that I really want to get. It's called It's called a Spaceman Polaris, and it's really neat. It's a resonant overdrive, and what it has on it that's unique is it has an expression pedal input, and it has a resonant filter on board. So it's an overdrive pedal with a filter. I don't know, it's just kind of weird 2-pull filter.
Yeah.
So you get some wacky sounds, different voicings for your overdrive. I don't know,
Interesting.
something cool. I haven't seen one of these before. They're expensive as hell though. It's like $300, $320, depending on what finish you get, and then you got to buy an expression pedal on top of that.
Alrighty.
I'll need somebody to buy the B stock of those so I can get it for $200.
Exactly. I had a gig the other night, and I got to say again, I was using the Duelist pedal, and man, that pedal does not disappoint. I really like that pedal. I don't want to. Jesse Davy or King Tone, I believe, is the brand he uses.
Oh, right.
And I also was using the Boiling Point by Rockbox, which should not be overshadowed because it's a great pedal too. But man, there's something about the clean with just a little bit of hair on it from the Duelist that I really like. And really, it's like a couple of blues guys that were there that came to my gig. They were like kept leaning over, looking at the board, going, "What is that pedal?" I'm like, "Ah, it's the Duelist." They're like, "It sounds good."
I mentioned to you that I had a list of the top 20 blues players, top
Yes.
30 blues
Oh,
players
30. Yes.
in the world today as presented by Guitar World.
Ooh, that'll be
And
interesting.
as you well know, the very first thing I said to you was, I don't even think there's 30 blues guitar players in the world today. But
Well, I don't know what constitute a blues guitar player. If it's somebody that uses a pentatonic scale, well, everybody is a blues player then, because that everybody at one point will use it, with here and there. It's part of playing, and
mhm.
so I'm curious as to what dictates or what denotes a blues player.
Okay, well, let me set the ground rules here. This is a Guitar World article, and
Okay.
it was voted on by readers. So
Oh,
this is just a list that you people out there actually put together. It says that they were holding this poll between June and July of this year, and they racked up 61,000 votes from readers around the world. The results are in, and the winner, as you probably know by now, is the one, the only.
you want me to tell you who number one on the list
Yeah,
is? Jimi
who's number
Hendrix.
one? That is incorrect. This is live guitar players.
Oh,
30 best, yeah, 30 best blues guitarists in the world today.
Joe Bonamassa.
That is correct.
A good player. He's a good player.
He is a good player. But
Yeah.
yeah, they said that Joe Bonamassa is number one. Can you
Yeah.
tell me who the following four would be? Just
I
go
can't,
for it.
and I'm only going to guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all we're dealing with here.
So it's a popularity contest with blues players. So Clapton will be in this four, but where will he fall? I'm going to say Eric Clapton. God, will he beat Jeff Beck? I'm going to say Eric Clapton is number two.
Perfect. That is correct.
Woohoo! All right. Number three
You're
is
not
going
going
to
to
be
get
Jeff
it.
Beck.
You're wrong. No,
Oh,
not even close.
I am wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
You said I'm not going to get it, so that's a hint that it's somebody that wouldn't be as obvious. It's Kirk Hammett. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. I'll give you a number three because you're not going to get it.
Okay.
All right. It's Derek Trucks.
Oh, I would have got that.
No.
From the Allman Brothers.
Yeah, but he would have never.
And
picked
Tedeschi
Derek
Trucks
for the top five. All right. Number
it's
four
funny,
and number
Tedeschi
five.
Trucks plays out. People here are like, oh man, I'm going to go see them. I'm always like, really? Like, she's horrible. I don't know. I think they're terrible. It's not. I don't find anything redeeming about it. I don't know. It's just me. It's not my kind of music.
If you are a fan, I'm giving you a heavy hint here. If you are a fan of Terrence and Phillip, you will get number four.
Ooh, it's a Canadian.
No, it's not a Canadian.
Really?
But you got to think about what they say to each other when they're fighting.
Not bro. Hold on. Friend?
I'm not your friend, buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy.
Oh, buddy guy. Yeah, you go.
That's the one.
Yeah.
All right, so I gave you that one. What's number
Buddy guy's
five?
number four, huh? Number five, Jeff
four.
Beck?
That's not correct.
God. Who's number five?
John Mayer.
Oh, my Lord. Again, a good player. Would I call him a blues player? I don't know.
We'll go to number 10, and then I'm just going to blow through everything because this is going to take way too long. Number 6, Kenny Wayne Shepherd.
Oh, he's a good player. I like Kenny Wayne. I actually even like his music.
I didn't know he was still alive.
Still alive. I think he lives in Santa Monica.
I've never met him. Okay, number 7, Samantha Fish.
Oh, God.
I don't know who this is.
She's like a local. Oh my God, folks, get over the fact that a woman plays guitar. It's like every blues guy's like, oh, she can play guitar. Not well. Sorry. You remember there's a
I
video years
don't know how you
ago?
ever.
First of all, but you know the video you and I are talking about, we've brought it up before, with a guy and he sits there with his wife, and his wife plays him videos, and he has to tell if it's a guy guitar player or a girl.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the
You
guy
guys,
was
I'm
bang
gonna get
on.
in so much trouble.
Right. But he was bang on. He nailed every one of them.
Right.
That's how I feel about Samantha Fish. I hear her play for a second. I'm like, that's a girl. That's
Okay.
a girl playing blues.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Number 8, we've got Gary Clark Jr.
I haven't heard anything by him, but I only hear great things about him.
He's one of these guys that has a real mix of music. I've heard some of the blues stuff that he does, and it's really good. I'll give it to him. It's really good. He's got a great voice. But then you'll hear some stuff that he does, and it's like 80s throwback R&B. And then you'll hear some stuff that he does, and it's like real modern R&B. And
Right.
it's just it's strange. He's got a mix.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to number 9. I've not heard of this guy either. Tab Benoit.
Number 9. Number
Tab?
9. I have no idea who Tab Benoit is.
Okay, folks, listen to Tab Benoit, see what he is. He's a Louisiana Delta blues maestro and a man of simple pleasures. He enjoys long walks on the beach.
And throwing bodies into a bog.
So he is that's this guy, Tab Benoit. Anyway, he has his own label because nobody would sign him, but he's number 9.
He enjoys crawfish. He enjoys andouille sausage, and he's quite fond of stinking up a bathroom.
Oh, that's great. And speaking of stinking up a bathroom, number 10, the great William G. Gibbons.
Billy Gibbons gets number 10 on a list.
For some reason they're calling him a blues guitar player.
What do you mean? You go to the first 3 ZZ Top records. Those are like 3 great blues rock albums. The guy should be number 1 on that list.
Yeah, but why is Jeff Beck not anywhere in this mention? If Billy Gibbons is here, so should Beck.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I say that. All right, and I'll go through. You can just tell me now who you've heard of and who you haven't, and if you think they're good or not. We'll blow through quickly. Next one is Chris Kingfish Ingram, the big heavy set kid that's doing Fender.
I told you he has he's a big fan of the 3 Kings. BB King, Freddie King, and Burger King.
That's correct. All right, Eric Gales. Eric Gales is a monster.
Eric Gales is the lefty, right?
Yeah.
That plays upside down. Great player.
And always makes the weirdest faces.
Yeah, well, because he's pulling everything the opposite way.
All right, Warren Haynes.
He's good. I like Warren Haynes. I like him better than Derek Trucks.
Okay. Irja Littinen. This is a woman from Europe. And judging from that name, she's from Finland. And everybody knows the deep history of Finnish blues.
Oh, yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Then we've got Chris Buck. Yes, no?
No idea who Chris Buck is.
Josh Smith.
Josh Smith is great.
In terms of guitar playing and technicality, this guy should be higher on the list than number 6.
He's great.
Dan Patlansky. South African guy.
Never heard of him.
Me either. Marcus King.
Nope.
Marcus King's tone is so hot that you could cook a 12-ounce steak just by waving it in front of his speaker cabinet, says Guitar World.
That is so awful.
I think it's great. I'm going to use that in the future. All right, how about Walter Trout?
I know the name.
I've never heard of this guy before.
I know the name.
Let's see, who is this guy? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Track album, Doors guitars, Robbie Krieger's. Oh God, why do people throw around Krieger still? I've never got that one. I don't understand it. They're just talking about this guy recorded his record at Robbie's studio. I know a bunch of local people around here that treat him like a god. It's just
Yeah,
like, Robbie
it's
Krieger, really?
because he's a Venice guy. They
Yeah.
started in Venice. I don't know. I like the Doors. I don't love them, but I like them, and I enjoy Robbie Krieger's playing. I don't love it, but it's good.
Yeah. All right. Oh God, how did this happen? All right, Robert Cray, number 20.
Yeah, well, somebody was like, we need to figure out how we're going to come up with 30 blues guitar players. So far, we have 5 names we've never heard of, and Robert Cray, who hasn't made a record since 91.
Yeah, well,
I'm
he's
kidding,
alive.
folks. Yeah, I don't know. He's probably still making albums. I have no idea what Robert Cray is doing.
And we got Jared James Nichols.
Don't know him.
He was a Black Star artist. I don't know if he ever recorded his own material as of like 3-4 years ago, but somehow or another he's on the list. Robin Ford, way down the list, number 22.
Yeah, Robin's excellent.
All right, Peter Green, apparently still alive,
Peter Green's still alive.
according to this. Green hasn't released any new music, but you can be sure he remains on heavy rotation on record decks and phones worldwide. Wow, they say phones instead of, anything else.
Phonographs.
They say
Hold on.
record decks and phones. It's like we'll just skip 50 years of audio innovation and go from one to the latest.
Yeah, he
That
is
was
still
intentional.
alive. That's pretty impressive.
Speaking of still alive, Jimmy Vaughn comes in at number 24.
Oh, if I hear one more person in my life that says to me, Jimmy's actually the better player. Yeah, actually he's not. Do you know how there's always some asshole contrarian?
Yeah.
Nancy Wilson's really the better singer in heart. Yeah, she isn't. That's why she only sings one fucking song.
Robin Trower.
Right.
Robin Trower, number 74. Or not number 74. He is 74.
Yeah.
Number 25. Number 26, Johnny Lang.
I like Johnny Lang. I like his voice, too.
He's way down the list. Anthony Gomes.
That's actually a real name?
You've never heard of him either.
No, of course not.
Keb Mo.
Yeah, I know Keb Mo.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Keb Mo fan.
Yeah. All right.
It's not my thing. The
this
blues
is-
itself is not my thing. What number is Keb Mo? 27?
28. This is just getting ridiculous. Buddy Whittington.
Oh, the incomparable Buddy Whittington.
He is a Dr. Z player, which is the only reason I know his name. I'm sure the guy can play.
Yeah.
I don't know who he plays for or anything else.
Go ahead.
Matt Schofield.
Don't know him either. I have to say, Laith Al-Sadi,
idea.
the guy who did the voice, is a
Yeah, I know
blues
who he
player.
is.
Laith is because he's from Michigan also. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a great player. In fact, I would have him in the top 10 of like living blues guitar players.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He's got to fight against that tough Finnish blues scene.
Right. Oh yeah, You put Laith Al-Sadi next to Samantha Fish, and you're gonna be like, what? Who the hell? Like, why is she even on this list? He's not on the list, and she gets number 8 or 7. What number was Samantha Fish?
She was way up that list. She was top 10. Yeah, 7.
Yeah, she's better than Billy Gibbons. Oh, come on. She's
If I
probably
would've-
home saying, are you kidding me? Who is this guy, Dave? You know how many cocks I had to suck to get on that list? Thank you.
I have a feeling that I could have taken any 3 of the names that were under the top 10 and just kept rotating them over and over and over. You'd have never known the difference.
No.
Be like a number 17, Dan Patlansky.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly.
number 24, Dan Patlansky.
Right. By 24, I'd be like, that name sounds familiar.
Oh,
Right.
really? Because he was 10, 17, 19, and 26.
Somebody on Facebook went to go see Samantha Fish and they posted it. And I was just like, I thought it was like an open blues jam.
Mhm.
But this girl's better than Billy Gibbons.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of her. Yeah, I mean, any of these guys, how is Warren Haynes like that far down that list? Robert Cray, Robin Ford. How is Robin Ford way down that list? I
Right.
guess
Well,
because
yeah, Samantha Fish is a
people
better
don't give
blues
the
player than Robin Ford.
right. Yeah, I don't get it. No, I don't have an opinion on Samantha Fish because I've never heard her, but I trust what you're saying.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I want to be able to say, "Oh no, Dave. Oh no, she's she's got a lot of heart." Listen, Dave, you're not giving her the credit that she deserves.
Right.
Her
Yeah.
vibrato, her bending, soulful,
It's just
passionate.
ridiculous. Who's that girl that's on that wears the push-up bra?
I love her.
What's her name? You know who
I don't
exactly. Come
I
on,
don't
she
know
has
what
the
her
push-up.
name is. I just
She
know who
plays a
she is.
yeah, she plays acoustic guitar. She has the push-up bra. She's got,
How
she's a
funny.
moderate talent at best, and she has 5 million views.
No,
In
I know
fact,
what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean it's all about the push up. That's it.
hold on. Okay, so I'm
So
gonna just say this. The other day, I saw something criminal on YouTube. I was looking up the song, which I love, by the way, a Gladys Knight song called "Neither One of Us," which is a great, great song. Anyways, I'm looking around on YouTube and I see there's a girl that covers it, and her name is Sarah Collins. And I'm not trying to out you, Sarah Collins, but your version of the song was less than stellar. But you had 23,000 views of it. And I'm like, why is this blonde girl getting so many views? It's not even that great of a version. Then there's a girl, and her name is Christina Wells. And Christina Wells is a heavy set, light skinned black woman, I would imagine. Yeah. But heavy set, sings the living balls out of the song. I thoroughly enjoyed her version. I felt it was like emotional. Everything about her version was like, this is awesome. She had 459 views. That's why
what
Samantha
was her
Fish,
name?
Christina Wells. But that's why Samantha Fish is number 7 on that list.
What was the name of the song?
Neither one of us. And it's funny, you watch her start the song, she's wearing glasses. You can see she's like a little nervous. Then she takes the glasses off and she just crushes the song. It's one of my favorite versions of the song is by this girl.
Yeah, she's got 467.
Yeah. The other girl had 23,000. The other girl couldn't carry her panties.
Speaking of that, that's really funny. I just watched the remake of Dolomite. Or not the remake, but you know what I mean. The
Yeah,
Eddie Murphy one.
sure.
And the whole thing about the girl that's in it was kind of it was right what you're talking about right now, where she was a big heavy set lady, but she was very talented. At least in this story, she had no confidence. Nobody paid attention to her, but she was a monster singer. So I'm watching this right now, and yeah, you're absolutely right.
What's the Australian girl's name that plays guitar? Orenthal James Simpson. What the hell's her name?
Orianthi?
Orenthani? Yeah. What is it? Orianthi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't
She
know she was
reminds me of,
Australian.
yeah, isn't she?
I don't know, but this woman's voice is amazing.
It's fucking awesome. Um, Orenthal James Simpson, whatever the girl's name is from Australia. I can't even say her name. She's like
Orianthi.
Samantha Fish. You've got someone who's somewhat a piece of ass that goes out there with a guitar, dressed in the outfits, and because they play, everybody with a heart on is calling Guitar World, saying she's great, she's talented. You get somebody. Who's the girl that sings in that Alabama Shakes band?
I don't know what her name is.
She's probably 10 times the guitar player, but nobody gives a shit because she's a heavyset black woman.
No, I think you're on point. It's sad, it's unfortunate, and it's true. This is why I think people like like the Mamas and the Papas were able to be successful in their era. Mama was enormous. Do you think Mama would be able to make a record today and like get radio play? No.
No.
No fucking way.
Well, Michelle Phillips could.
I don't know who that is.
She was the other girl in the Mamas and the Papas.
Got it. Okay.
She was very pretty back in her day.
Right. But you're spot on. A guy like Kingfish can get airtime because nobody cares if the guy is heavier set.
Right. They don't care.
But yeah, no.
And I'm not trying to say,
and
I'm not trying to say that we need to do something about it. Like, I'm not in the political realm of saying, oh, well, this injustice needs to be fixed. It's just, it is what it is. You can't make people whatever. But this girl singing Neither One of Us, Christina Wells, is fantastic. And she should have 1 million views on that. And now I listened to one of her original songs after because her version of Neither One of Us was so good that I went back to listen to other songs. And I'm like, yeah, I wish she would get away from the modern. She could be a real star throwing back some of those old Philadelphia soul songs, what are those two guys, Gamble and Huff songs. She could be doing all, and Tom Bell. She could be nailing all that stuff and having a huge career. Samantha Fish will never be a household name because she doesn't have it. But what she does have is the blues scenes, guys with hard-ons following around like little puppy dogs because it's like, she's a girl and she can play guitar and she wears leather and she's pretty. And it's like, okay, we get it.
This woman, though, I'm listening to a song that she did called Ready or Not.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Dude, this is really good.
Her voice is outstanding.
This is like it's kind of weird because it's kind of modern, but it's also kind of 80s. There's a little bit of throwback to it. Like they've got this guitar that's playing under the whole thing. It's got like a harmony guitar along with it. Sounds like there's a lot of reverb on the track and everything.
Let me look to see how many people. She doesn't tell you how many people subscribe. Folks, do me a favor and subscribe to her. I subscribed.
This video is 5 months old and it's only got 4,800 views and it's really, really, really well sung. Holy cow.
Yeah. She has a fantastic voice. And I'll tell you right now, one of my all-time favorite songs is Neither One of Us by Gladys Knight. So I love that song.
Why is her community so small? What's the deal here?
I told you why. She's heavy set.
You know what's really wild? She was a semi-finalist on America's Got Talent.
She was?
Yeah, that's what it says here. I'm a motivational singer and speaker. I was a semi-finalist on America's Got Talent and after 15 years as a nurse, I've finally been given my chance to pursue my career as a performer. This channel is home to my performance videos, blah, blah, blah. It's funny. She acknowledges it. She says, this is of me telling personal stories about my growth and the challenges of being a big girl in this world. So she acknowledges it. But dude,
well, Ready or Not, you can see in that video, she's constantly making comments about, the pressures of being thin and all that stuff. And she's a big girl. But what I'm saying is she's got a great voice. Her version of that song is fantastic. And yet this other girl, did you look up the other girl yet? I'll tell you her name.
No, I already told you. I don't give a shit. I know who it is.
No, not her. Sarah Collins.
Oh, the push-up bra girl?
No. This is, so when I was looking up Neither One of Us, I was seeing if anybody sang it. I was just curious if anyone did a good version of it. Hers I came up with first. She has 23,000 views. And I heard her.
Sarah Wells?
Collins.
Sarah Collins. Okay. You talking about this blonde-haired, kind of probably late 40s woman?
Yeah, I wouldn't say late 40s. She probably is late 40s. I wouldn't say because I don't want to get slapped. But yeah, no, I'm just saying
Oh, wait, do you know this girl?
no, I'm totally teasing. I'm making a joke. She's in her 40s.
Okay.
But either way, listen to the voice and you'll see what I mean. The first note of the song, you're like, the first line is a little pitchy.
Let's see. Here comes. She's in pitch so far, but yeah, I don't give a shit.
That's exactly what that's the je ne sais quoi of music, of voices and talent. It's when somebody plays a great song and you go, yeah, I can't make it to the end of this song. I don't care. The other girl took you in.
Yeah. No, she had a lot of talent. Yeah, this one I could just care less. This looks like
Right.
somebody who's just doing it for fun. Like, yeah, good for you.
Right. The fun is on her side, not the viewer's side. The other
Right.
one, she looks like she was enjoying it and really connecting with the lyrics. And as a viewer, we're all like, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a great song, and I'm a huge Gladys Knight fan. And Gladys Knight's voice, there's a version of her singing it a couple of months ago in July, and she's just great. She's still great. The only thing I could say bad about Gladys Knight was when they did "That's What Friends Are For" with Dionne Warwick, Elton John. I don't know what kind of haircut she was trying to sport in that video, but it's like, I'm a housewife. I'm no longer a star. I'm a housewife. Thank God she got her mojo back because that was ridiculous.
That's funny. I don't know. I'd have to watch it. But all right, what was this woman's name? I just subscribed to her, and now I can't remember.
Christina Wells.
Christina Wells. That's the one. Okay. Yeah, I'll watch some more of her.
Yeah, she's great.
Videos.
She's great. And it's nice to look somebody up and be like, oh, hey, here's someone that can sing and she's good and she should be doing something, but she's heavy set. Oh, hey, let me read you the top 30 blues guitar player. Tits McGee. Right? I mean, it's like, I don't look, I agree if you're in the business and it's nice to have an image, but sometimes I think Christina Wells transcends the look. Like, in other words, she's a big woman, so was Aretha. This girl can sing her ass off. When she sang the lyrics, she like acted them out. She's great. And it's a fantastic song. And everyone that watches or that comes to my channel knows when I go to my live shows, I love all that 70s R&B stuff. I love the easy listening stuff. I grew up on metal. I love it all. So if I see somebody do a good job, if somebody's good, it's great. You know, it's and when I see girls with sorry.
Have you ever thought to show your support by putting on a lot of weight?
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah. I think hit Town Spa a few more times a week.
Exactly. I went to Regina's the other night in Boston. Pizzeria Regina had a great pie. Had an extra sauce, meatball, and ricotta cheese.
Sounds good.
Oh, they do a fantastic job there on Thatcher Street in the north end of Boston.
There you go. But yeah, show your support to Christina Wells. Subscribe to her. Give her a shot. She's an amazing voice, and also show your support by putting on weight.
Yes. No, but
winter is coming. The winter is upon us.
Right, but I mean, could you imagine like if somebody sat there and was like, here's the top, like if it was the same way with guys, the way they do it with girls, it would be like, here's the top 30 blues guitar player. Number 1, Ricky Martin. Like, what?
Yeah.
Number 2, right? You know, it'd be like number 2, Antonio Banderas. You know, they would just pick like heartthrobs through the years. I'm pulling out. I'm nobody.
Dave is apparently into the Latin wave of the late 90s.
I prefer Ricky Martin when he was on Love Boat in Menudo.
Oh God. It's not reasonable to base your opinion of somebody's talent on their looks, but I mean, there is that law of attraction. You know, you got to be attracted to something first, in a way. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be drawn to somebody, and you're going to give them a hell of a lot more flexibility and credit if you think that they're an attractive individual.
I don't know. When
Which is
you think about the
which,
70s music, when we were kids, did we know what any of these people looked like? When Joni
no,
Mitchell
but
was singing Help,
but
nobody knew.
that's because you're not you didn't have the luxury of seeing them and making a prior assessment.
All right.
I'm not saying anything other than the fact that the girls that are adequate musicians or barely adequate musicians who are better looking, all I'm saying is that people give them a lot more leeway. If this woman was an
What's
average, if
what's
this
the
woman
country
was
guy?
who?
The Australian country guy.
Keith Urban.
He's a B player. They treat him like he's an A. They treat him like he's Vince Gill and Brad Paisley, and he's not on their level.
Agreed.
But that's because he's the pretty boy from Australia.
I agree. No, I find it that people will give the woman like a longer look
Well,
because of the way that she looks. And what I mean by a longer look is you'll if she misses a note, you'll be like, yeah, it's okay. You should do it again. They're not going to give that same look to the other girl that's not as attractive, and that's crappy.
you remember when Hart was around in the 80s when Ann Wilson started putting on the weight? All the videos were stretched. They were like stretching the video this way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You got to see those videos. I said my piece on that. I'm glad I thought of Keith Urban. So it's not just a one-way street. It happens on the male side. People sit there and treat. But you know what? With the male side, I will say it's much more to the artistry. Like Keith Urban, they make him like, oh, he's a great player and he's this. Well, he's not Brad Paisley. He's not Vince Gill. He's not one Steve Wariner, the most handsome man on earth.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think unfortunately we didn't mention this, but on both sides of it, your viability as a vocalist gets rolled into how you are as a guitar player as well. Because somebody will look at somebody that's, your average guitar player, but if they write good songs and they have a voice, people will be, oh, that's my favorite guitar player.
Right, and it's not right, and it's not a guitar. Right, I agree with that.
Yeah, you're not thinking about the guitar. You're thinking about the guy.
But now you're talking about an artist. Now you're bringing the artist into it, and so they're like, "Oh, well, Bruce is a great guitar player because he's a great artist." And they do that with Elton John, like you say. People will go, "Elton John's a great piano player. He's one of the best in the world." Then you talk to somebody at Juilliard, going, "He sucks." You know what I mean? Folks, go look up that song by Christina Wells. If not for anything, it's one of the greatest R&B classics. Neither one of us from I think it's 70, might have been released as a single in late December of 72, but it's 73, I think, is the album. But just a great, great song. Reminds me of my childhood.
There you go.
Yeah, great song. All right, let's call this one, guys. All right, we're going to call it. John, it was great talking to you once again.
'Twas a pleasure.
Yes, and I will see you next week.
Indeed. Folks, have a great week, and we'll catch you next week.
Very good.
Later.
You're listening to Guitar Talk with Dave and John.